Good morning, it is, I have the date on my new Fitbit now, Tuesday the 10th of April today, and it's almost 3 p.m. I struggled to wake up today and sort of get going. Sometimes I am awake but I just don't have any memory of the time that's passed, and I can't find any evidence of anything I've really been doing in that time, so it's just lost to me. But anyway, the new Fitbit's working really well. I don't have any of the problems I had with the old one, with it just not always syncing or sometimes losing the heartbeat signal, the strap falling off and it just falling off my arm, all that sort of stuff. And the other cool thing about this new one, which it's the Fitbit Ionic by the way if you're interested, is that you can choose different sort of watch faces for it. So at the minute I've got something that shows the temperature outside, the date, the time, my current heart rate and the number of steps I've done that day, and that's all really useful information. But I was hoping that the Fitbit would motivate me to start some sort of regular exercise. I'm not sure what yet. When I used to be able to exercise, I used to love hiking in the mountains, but that might be a bit ambitious. And I also used to love weightlifting, and it was just really fun because you'd get quite dramatic results where you look visibly different after a few sessions. But I know that's not too good to do with EDS, so I'm going to have to think about what's going to be the best thing. Just my phone beeping there. So, the other thing I wanted to say is I'd really like it if you, my subscribers or just watchers or commenters, would choose a name for my new Angelfish, because I haven't named her yet, and it would be really great if you could come up with an idea if you have one, and if there's more than one I'll sort of pick the one that has the most likes or something, and that'll be the name of the fish, and I'll let you know what it is in the next video. I'll just show you a little clip of the fish now so you can get some ideas for naming her. I think it's a female because she's much less aggressive than the other one I had, and she's a bit smaller and kind of more timid, although you can't tell for sure with these angelfish at this age. So yeah, let me know your names. Probably female or male or gender neutral, it doesn't matter. So we got some post today. This is another case where my memory's totally failed me, because I do have a vague memory of going on Amazon and ordering some stuff. The thing that really tempts me is that Prime thing that I've got that lets me get parcels the next day, because if I order something that's going to be there in a week, I lose interest because I forget what it even was by the time I receive it. But I've actually done that in this case as well, so I'm just going to open some stuff up and see what I've got, starting with this one. Oh, I did order this about a week ago actually, so it's not surprising that I forgot. Basically what it is some freeze-dried Daphnia, which are like little sort of water creatures like shrimps or that kind of thing that the fish eats. So I'm going to try feeding a bit of this to my fish and see if they enjoy it. Hopefully they will. I just thought it'd be a nice change from the sort of regular main diet. So now I'm going to open up the next one. I do remember ordering this as well now I've seen it. I may have gone a bit fish mad at the minute, and I apologise if you're fed up of hearing me talk about fish, but this is actually a automatic fish feeder which sits on top of your tank, and you fill up the different sections with the food you want the fish to have, and it will drop out depending on when you set the timer. So I just thought I'd better buy this in advance of me ever deciding to go away or anything, and test it so that I know that I've got something working in case I decide to visit a friend or something over the summer. So, just opening it up. Here it is. And I'll have to test that out a bit later. Right, there's one more thing, but I seem to have lost it. Right, here's the last one. So, okay, this is the one I ordered yesterday actually now. This is just a little sort of case for the new Fitbit and an extra strap. They're really cheap on Amazon, and I like to change the colour of my things, so I thought this would just be fun. And I think I've got another couple of different colour straps coming over the next day or two as well. Here's the new strap and case on it. So anyway, I've got to finish my essay today so that I can submit it tonight ahead of the deadline tomorrow. I think I'd better submit it early just in case something goes wrong. So I'm just gonna get back to that now. It's been really difficult for me to finish this essay, but at this point I've got something that I'm really happy with, and I think sort of makes the points that I want to make. I just I feel nostalgic about the times when I was doing my undergraduate degree at university, when I could just sit down and really enjoy writing a psychology essay at a sort of really high level, and just enjoy thinking about the different arguments and just put the whole thing down and be really proud of it. It just doesn't quite work that way anymore since all my symptoms got worse, probably around my third year of my undergraduate degree. So yeah, it's a shame, but I realised I can still do it. It's just 10 times more difficult than it ever was. Hello, so it's Tuesday evening. I had a bit of a bad episode where I just was working on my essay this afternoon, maybe around 3 or 4 p.m, and then I just felt my eyes closing and my eyelids just getting heavier and heavier, and I couldn't stay upright. I was sitting in the chair, but I just felt like just slumping forwards and just sort of almost like couldn't stay conscious, but I managed to get into the bedroom and lie down in bed, and then I must have fallen asleep immediately, and then I suddenly woke up at some point about 10 or 15 minutes ago, and it was dark and I just felt really disorientated, and it's 10:30 now in the evening. So looking at my Fitbit data, I think I'd probably been asleep from about 5 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. So basically all evening, and I woke up. When I woke up, I was just freezing cold and like drenched in buckets of sweat, and this has happened quite a few times before. It's like I get a fever or something, like a really bad fever, except that I'm not ill, and it only happens whenever I've pushed myself and done a bit too much. And I think working on this essay has been a bit too much for me, and that's what's caused this. And that's why I can't just do more on a day-to-day basis, because things like this happen and I end up being set back for days, and it just sort of spirals and gets worse. So I have to keep things at the level that I can actually manage. So anyway, I blasted myself with the hot hair dryer and just sort of basically dried all my clothes with it while I was wearing them, which is basically the only way I can really quickly fix the problem once I get that cold, because I get just really weak and it's hard to move and get really stiff. Even though I've sort of heated myself up with a hair dryer to the point that it's almost burnt me, and then put my really thick fluffy onesie on, I'm still really, really cold. And if you look at my skin, it's sort of purple and covered in goosebumps. So basically I didn't finish doing all the edits on the essay, did I? So I'm gonna have to do that now. So I've made myself a cup of tea, just warm up my cold little self with this, and then I'll get back and finish my essay and all that other stuff I've got to do. Bye bye. I submitted my essay. Feels amazing, even though it's 3:30 in the morning and I've got to be up about 7 to get to university. We'll see if I make it. Feel really good to get that weight off my shoulders though. Now I can go to bed. Good night.